Pete Hegseth hates his job. Now, I don't think he hates it as much as Dan Bongino over at the, deputy director of the FBI, but I think he's very close behind him because according to new reports from NBC News, where they spoke with two sources who, again, remained anonymous, as per usual, because they don't want any retaliation against them, but they said that Pete Hegseth has sat everyone down at the Pentagon recently within the last 3 weeks to tell them that he wants out. And they said he wasn't just spitballing ideas on how to exit. He kind of, sort of, has an exit plan, but he actually wants the Pentagon staffers to finish the plan for him so he can get the hell out of there. And the funniest part is that, according to recent reports, the feeling's mutual. There have been dozens and dozens of senior military officials within the Pentagon that have drafted a letter basically saying that Pete Hegseth needs to either be fired or forced to resign. So the people at the Pentagon hate him. And we got reports this week that the White House is also sick and tired of his bullcrap because a couple months ago, they had to approach him and say, you're going to stop polygraphing people. You're not going to perform these idiotic lie detector tests because now you're starting to go after our people and they came whining to us. So you better knock it off. Not to mention, obviously, you didn't catch any leakers. All you're doing is pissing everybody off, creating an environment of mistrust, and you're not even catching the people. But here's what the two sources close to Pete Hegseth said. One of the people said their discussion with Hegseth happened within the past 3 weeks and that it was serious, not simply spitballing ideas. The discussion centered on what it would take to run, specifically for governor of Tennessee. One person said if they discussed the eligibility requirements to run for governor of Tennessee and Hegseth's chances of winning. The other person said they talked with Hegseth about the realities of a campaign. So this guy that has been at the Pentagon now for 6 months? His only political experience to speak of. He's been there for 6 months and he's already thinking, you know what? I could be governor of Tennessee. I could do this. Somebody tell me how to run a campaign. What do campaigns need? So he's so dumb, one, that he's arrogant to the point where he thinks he could win a governorship after his horrific 6-month tenure. But two, so dumb that he doesn't even know what it takes to run a campaign. He doesn't know anything about campaigning. So he's having these staffers who ostensibly also know nothing of campaigning to go figure it out. Like, figure out how I can do this so I can quit this horrible job that I'm clearly bad at and go run for governor. Because even though I suck at being Secretary of Defense, I am sure I would knock it out of the park as the governor of Tennessee. You do that, bud. Go ahead and do that, please. I'm begging you, Hegseth. Resign from the Pentagon immediately and launch your campaign to be the governor of Tennessee. And let's see how it plays out for you in a Republican primary and then potentially a general election when all of those voters in Tennessee, which has a very decent military population, are reminded of the fact that you sent confidential messages about war plans to a reporter on an app that you're not even supposed to be using in the first place. Right? Let's see how they act when they're reminded of that daily in ads running on their TVs and radios and the YouTube videos they watch. I wonder how those people are going to react. Oh, and then you, of course, did it again. And the White House kind of hates you. And everybody at the Pentagon hates you, so I'm sure it wouldn't be difficult for any of the people running against you in a Republican primary or in a general election to go and grab some people from the Pentagon, retired military officials even, and get them to put together a compilation that they can then put into an ad about how horrible and incompetent you are as a leader. So please, Pete, do this, because you would be doing us all a huge favor by leaving the Department of Defense. Thanks for watching, everyone. You know, we're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.